Here we are in the Humber College auditorium for another immersive recording session with the Venuti String Quartet, my favorite string quartet on the planet. Rebecca Wolkstein, Drew Jureka, and Shannon Knight and Amal. We've got, they're playing such beautiful music today. And the goal is to have an immersive recording session where we're recording the content with immersive intent. So we're monitoring it down the hall in our 714 Atmos room. Here we have quite a few mics today, and obviously some of it's experimental, and we're trying to see what works and what doesn't and what combinations of all this we can use. Discussing with Drew, the goal was to have a very, very clear and focused LCR Deca-Tree style recording that could be used even in a stereo context. So we've got three M149s that are faced down towards the quartet. They're really the center of this capture because the perspective here is very much an immersive capture from the audience perspective. So the ensemble is performing in a traditional sort of formation out towards the hall, and so we're just capturing various distances and trying to be able to place the listener in the Atmos array in the other room as though they're sitting at different points in this room. So we've got the LCR there of the M149s, and then to fill that array out as a 5-channel array, a left rear surround and right rear surround mic, which are the M150s. And so those are all in Omni. Now here, we've got some internal experiments. The Neumann KU100, so the Neumann dummy head here is actually just sounding so beautiful. This hall reacts really well with it. There's a lot of crosstalk, lovely reflections. So that's sounding good. Drew has an SM2 that we actually have, which is the earliest stereo mic. Drew actually has I'll show you the spot mics as well. He's got a beautiful collection. But the SM2, we're experimenting with a mid-side treatment, just for the sake of it. Drew brought the mic and we wanted to do it. It's not really making its way into a functional combination with the other mics right now due to phase, but it's there and we'll see. Similarly, the 44 that you see in the middle, Drew also just wanted to experiment with. We've tried and are going to try more, maybe feeding some LFE content or things along those lines, but it's a little bit experimental. So really, we're looking at a 5-channel array here. Then, initially, I had 4 DPA 4006s sort of flanking this higher up, and honestly, it was just too close to the ensemble, so we moved them out, and now we have them really sort of extremes of the stage in the 4 corners, and they're acting to fill the height channels in the Atmos system, and they have a lovely sort of distant room decorrelated sound. I might experiment later as well of not necessarily having them all the way in the heights, but actually just sort of bringing them down because they're not actually that high. Spot mic wise, on violin 1 and 2, we've got a KM54, which is a gorgeous small diaphragm condenser, old Neumann tube mic, and then on cello and viola we've got the KM56. They're rich. These are Drew's mics, and he loves using them. He's a fantastic engineer himself, and so he brought them because they're great. Then as we push into the hall, we set up an 11-channel array over here. This is what we've been doing in a number of the classes thus far, and something that I am very fond of in the style of classical techniques, very much sort of pioneered or led by people like Morton Lindbergh and Richard King. We've got 7 microphones on the lower level, 4 microphones on the upper level. This time, this is a pure cardioid array. I actually think in this position, if we had all omnis, I would really like this to be an omnidirectional array. I really like when it's directional mics, when it's close to the ensemble and trying to create intimacy. Now, it's still lovely, and it's basically creating a reverb because the ensemble's not that loud, so by the time we get into this part of the room, we really are just capturing reflections and ambience and the beautiful sustain of the hall. So we've got 7 Schoeps MK4s on the bottom, 4 DPA 4011s on the top, all equidistant to the center, which is something that I've really liked. That sort of spherical array is really translating well to the 714 Atmos system. And lastly, we have the R88, which is a Blumlein AEA ribbon mic. We actually experimented with it further back in the hall, and there wasn't enough energy like we had in previous recording sessions in here, so we moved it forward, and we're panning it to the rear surround speakers. It sounds warm, and there's a lot of presence there, so I'm liking how it sort of fills it out. And actually, I forgot, but on the ceiling we have 4011s. These are sort of permanent installations in the hall. Got a pair of them sort of flanking the stage, almost like ceiling outriggers that are faced down towards the ensemble, and then also a pair that are faced down towards the hall. And we're experimenting with different positions for those right now. We've tried side speakers, we've tried ceiling speakers. So after working on some balance, coming in, also just, naturally the ensemble learning to blend in the hall and coming into the other room and sort of addressing the balance at the source. They're not wearing headphones, they're just listening to each other. It's really coming together. It's starting to glue, and there's a sense of realism and, hyper-detailed realism, but realism in terms of the perspective when we're listening to it on a mixed level. So, yeah, really fun day.